Nature does not announce its predators. The wolf does not howl before the kill, and the most dangerous man in the room does not speak to be heard. He speaks to be buried. Most people move through the world seeking connection, seeking the warmth of a shared reality. The manipulator moves through the world seeking leverage. While you are looking for a friend, they are taking an inventory of your soul. The dark truth is that they are not interested in who you are. They are interested in what you are, worth. They view human beings as assets to be liquidated or voids to be filled. This is not a social interaction. It is a harvest. And by the time you feel the blade, you have already helped them sharpen it. Welcome to the architecture of control. Let us begin. 1. The predatory silence. A manipulator is rarely the loudest person in the room. They do not dominate through volume. They dominate through observation. While everyone else is performing, trying to be liked and trying to be seen, the manipulator is silent. They are mapping the room. They are looking for the social leaks. The way you look down when you're nervous. The way your voice goes up when you're seeking approval. They aren't listening to your words. They are listening to your needs. They hunt for the unspoken permission, the moment you show them that you are willing to compromise your boundaries just to keep the peace. By the time they speak to you, they already know exactly which mask you require them to wear. 2. The anatomy of the scan. The assault does not begin with a lie. It begins with a cold, clinical study. The manipulator is a master of the hidden rhythm, the micro-expressions that reveal your internal state. The dark truth is that they are searching for your primal wound. That one moment in your past where you felt unloved, unprotected, or invisible. They notice how you apologize for things you didn't do. They measure how uncomfortable silence makes you and how desperately you try to fill it. These aren't flaws to a healthy person, but to the architect, these are the blueprints of your destruction. They don't want to fix you. They want to inhabit the space where you are broken. 3. The FOG model. There are 3 pillars upon which the architect builds your cage: fear, obligation, and guilt. Guilt is the anchor. It keeps you looking backward at your own mistakes, making you feel you owe them your compliance. The dark truth is that the manipulator uses emotional debt as currency. They do things for you that you never asked for, so that later they can demand things from you that you cannot afford to give. Fear is the lock, the fear of exile, the fear of being cast back into the cold, alone. They do not create these feelings. They simply find where you have already buried them, and they bring them to the surface to be used as leverage. 4. The mirror of Narcissus. The greatest trick of the predator is appearing as the prey. This is the art of mirroring and matching, a high-level biological hack to bypass your intuition. The dark truth is that they are soul-stealing. They observe your values, your slang, your pain, and your dreams. Then they play it back to you with perfect precision. If you value honesty, they perform honesty. If you value loyalty, they perform loyalty. They become the perfect reflection of what you've been searching for. By mimicking your breathing and your cadence, they bypass your brain's alarm system. They do not align with your soul. They camouflage against it until they are indistinguishable from your own thoughts. 5. The nihilistic core. Contrary to belief, they are not driven by hatred. They are driven by the hunger for control. To them, control is the only shield against their own inner chaos. The dark truth is that most manipulators have a nihilistic core. They believe that everyone is as hollow as they are, and that anyone who isn't winning is simply a fool waiting to be used. They cannot exist in a state of equality because equality requires vulnerability. And to them, vulnerability is a death sentence. They view love as a weakness and empathy as a flaw to be exploited in others. To the architect, you are not a person. You are a resource to be managed. 6. Intermittent reinforcement. Manipulation thrives in the gray areas. It uses the same psychological mechanism that makes gambling addictive. The dark truth is that they are conditioning you like a lab rat in a cage. By giving you affection inconsistently, they trigger a massive dopamine spike when they finally allow you back in. This creates a trauma bond, a chemical addiction to the person who is hurting you. Mixed signals, half promises, unclear intentions, when clarity would push you away. Uncertainty keeps you hoping, and hope, in the hands of a manipulator, is the ultimate weapon of exploitation. 7. The ego dissolution. The most profound form of control is not over the body. It is over perception. The manipulator does not argue with facts. They dismantle the observer. The dark truth is that they want to achieve ego dissolution in you. They want to break down your ability to distinguish fact from fiction until you are forced to ask them what the truth is. You're too sensitive. You misunderstood me. That's not what I meant. This is the slow death of self-trust. When a person can no longer trust their own senses, they must look to another to define reality. The manipulator becomes your compass, your judge, and your master. 8. Transactional sovereignty. Nothing is neutral in the world of the architect. Every favor is a debt. Every compliment is a deposit. Every apology is a stratagem. The dark truth is that they have depersonalized you. To them, you are a vending machine of resources, attention, money, sex, or status. They give you something small to justify taking something large later. They keep score in a game you didn't know you were playing. When you stop being useful, they do not leave. They discard you, leaving you to wonder what you did wrong, when the only wrong was running out of value. 9. The gray rock antidote. Stoicism is the manipulator's nightmare, because Stoicism removes predictability. The dark truth is that the manipulator needs your reaction to feel powerful. Your tears, your anger, and your explanations are the evidence of their control. Without your emotional heat, they starve. A Stoic pauses instead of reacting, observes instead of explaining. This is the gray rock method. By becoming as boring and unreactive as a gray rock, you become too expensive to control. And predators avoid expensive targets because they cannot afford the cost of your indifference. Most manipulators are not monsters of myth. They are the products of their own unhealed chaos, terrified of being seen for what they truly are: small, insecure, and hollow. The final dark truth? They are prisoners of their own game. They can never truly be loved because they only show the world a mask. But understanding their tragedy does not mean tolerating their poison. The most dangerous man is not the one who can control others. It is the one who has mastered himself. Once the mask is seen, the power is gone. The architect has no floor to stand on because you have stopped being his foundation. You are finally free. Now, go and become untouchable.